This team is 8-0 for the first time since 2017.
Yes.
We look back on that 2017 team from time to time for good reasons, of course. The wins were the good portion of it, getting off to a 10-0 start, but with a bit of a disparaging look back because of, number one, how it ended, but also during the course of the 10 wins, hanging on by a thread during a number of them against inferior teams that they should have beaten by quite a bit. There were a lot of 14-9. I'm probably not citing exact scores, but, I remember North Carolina was like, those kind of scores, like 16-13.
Well, I can read those four as it was. At Florida State, 24-20. That was a bad Florida State team. 25-24 the next week at home against Georgia Tech. 27-19 against Syracuse. 24-19 against North Carolina.
Yeah.
Those are the games that he's talking about.
The 24-19, wasn't that a weeknight game? Wasn't that a Thursday night game?
Could have been. No. 7-14. That looks like a Saturday to me.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought that was a Thursday night game. Okay.
I think the Duke game was a Saturday, or it was a weeknight game. That was 31-6 on the road. But Florida State was a Saturday. Then the next Saturday was Georgia Tech. Then that North Carolina game was definitely Saturday.
The Virginia game, wasn't that the game that they went up by a couple touchdowns early at Hard Rock? And
44-28. That was after the Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went up a little early, gave up some scores.
It was a noon game. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Syracuse game was a pretty close game. I think with I forget the name of their quarterback, but he was a runner. So when you look at that team versus this team, okay, I believe that you are going to, and I believe that most people would evaluate this team to be decidedly better than that team. Okay. Me included.
Okay.
Part of that comes with when you've got the quarterback, when you've got the guy, then people gravitate automatically, not automatically, but they tend to. Okay. This is a more fun team to watch for most fans because they want to see scoring. They want to see playmaking. Do you think that this team is decidedly better? Because the only reason I raise that is because of the obvious record comparison, but also that this team, for a stretch of games, was hanging on by a thread.
Yeah. I mean, but in a different kind of a way.
In a different way, yeah.
Like that North Carolina team that Miami beat in 2017 was putrid. And Miami was down at the half to that putrid team at noon in Chapel Hill, dialed up a double move to Jeff Thomas on the first play of the second half and, got loose and finally, okay. But like receivers couldn't get any separation. Like I think it was like 6-3 or 9-3 or something like that going into half. I mean, it was just like they took all the air out, like that Georgia Tech game, like everything. It was there was where that went. The offense this year, I believe, is better than 2017, and that's led by, because we have Cam Ward. Like that just makes everything better. I think that the offensive line this year is better than 2017's. I think the running back room. As I go over here, Travis Homer was 34 yards short of 1,000. Mark Walton, as a junior, had 430 before getting injured. DJ Dallas, as a true freshman, was 217. As his dynamic kind of slash ability. Had
217 yards for the season. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, DJ Dallas.
Really?
But as a true freshman, yeah. But he was on kick return, on punt return. He had yards receiving.
Because I thought by the Orange Bowl, he had kind of factored into things more so than that.
Well, if I look.
Apparently not. Because
217 yards rushing, 92 receiving. He had 40 yards on kick returns. They have him listed as 42 touches on offense, basically, through that year. But again, that's his true freshman season. So he did scale up, but he took over. All of that really was from the Notre Dame game to the end of the year, remember, because Walton got injured. So if you compress those statistics into, 5 or 6 real, because it was like 1 carry here, 1 carry there. And yeah, if you compress those into, let me go forward. I need to see. Yeah, his first carry of the year didn't come to North Carolina. So,
Okay.
like all of that in half of a season, yeah, like that makes sense, and that like, would improve the output when you look at it in terms of
Sure.
only 6 games as opposed to 12. But the thing for me is, and I like where this defense can go this year. I think that obviously the defensive line is where this defense can go and compete against anybody. I mean, I saw a pass rush stat. I mentioned this Twitter account before. Stats o war, like guerra war, fighting. Parker Fleming is the guy's name, and one of the ones he put up was like pass rush win rate, or it might have been David Hale with this one. But Miami is like 5th in the country in getting pressures and everything. Now, they're like 4th in terms of converting those into sacks, but like there's just always pressure in the backfield. Man, that 27 defense was a problem. If you could combine the 2022 offense and the 2017 defense, buddy, that's a championship team, period. Full stop, no conversation. I mean, that's junior Jaquan Johnson, sophomore Shaq Quarterman, Mike Pinckney, right? Joe Jackson, RJ McIntosh, Zach McLeod, Sheldrick Redwine, Chad Thomas as a senior, D. Delaney when he came over, trusty Trent Harris just doing his job, Mr. CTE himself, Amari Carter is a true freshman. Like the tackles for loss, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 11 and a half, 11, 10 and a half, 7 and a half, 7, 6 and a half. And that's the top 8 in tackles for loss. Like that defense under Manny Diaz that year, you put that unit with this offense, cancel Christmas. Like it would, yes. So that team was more defensively oriented and then got by because offense made enough plays. This is clearly an offensively driven team. The secondary in 2017, I'm taking all of that over what we have now. Linebackers, kind of a push. I like the Saints for his athleticism more. I think Kiko Manoa and Shaq Quarterman, pretty much 2 sides of the same coin, but they're similar but different. But I definitely do trust this team more because of number 1 at quarterback. But yeah, there are comparables and contrasting things that would complement the like if this offense was in 2017. Now you saw what happened in 2017, right? Now you put this offense with that, and vice versa with the defense. That's kind of where my thoughts are.
Those wide receivers would have loved to have played with Cam Ward.
Oh, buddy, man. Who are my receivers that year? Senior Braxton Berrios, senior Chris Herndon, sophomore Amon Richards, who only played in 8 games, true freshman JT Foe, Jeff Thomas, Lawrence Cager, Homer with 18 out of the backfield, Daryl Langham, who turned into the best receiver in America for 2 weeks, Dayal Harris, and everything. Mike Harley as a freshman way back when. Deontay Mullins for he lost his mind and got kicked off the team for screaming at the coaches because his mama put a rocket up his butt. Oh, man, what a group.